What is the value of the expression 6 plus 30 divided by 6 multiplied by open parenthesis 9 minus 4 close parenthesis? Which option do you think is the correct answer to this question? Everyone thinks this question is so easy, but it actually tricks a lot of people. Let's dive in and break it down step by step together. Many people, when solving this question, first go for the expression 6 plus 30 and write this expression as 36 divided by 6 multiplied by 9 minus 4 inside the parentheses. And the next step, they go for the division between 36 and 6. And this expression simplified to 6 multiplied by 9 minus 4 inside the parentheses. Then they tackle the expression inside the parentheses and write it as 6 multiplied by 5, which ultimately gives them the answer 30. Then, without any hesitation, they quickly say that the correct answer to this question is option C. However, it's not the correct answer to this question. Also, some other people, when solving this question, first go for the parentheses and write this expression as 6 plus 30 divided by 6 multiplied by 5. And the next step, they go for the multiplication between 6 and 5 because they believe multiplication has priority over division. So, this expression simplified to 6 plus 30 divided by 30. Then, they go for the division between 30 and 30 because they think division has a higher priority than addition. And they rewrite this expression as 6 plus 1, which ultimately gives them the answer 7. And immediately, they conclude that option B is the correct answer to this question. However, this answer is absolutely wrong. Alright, now let me show you how to solve this expression correctly. To solve this question, we must follow the PEMDAS rule. And this rule, P stands for parentheses, E stands for exponent, M stands for multiplication, D stands for division, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. We must follow the order of operations step by step from top to bottom. Okay, as you can see on the screen, in this expression, first we have an addition sign, then a division sign, followed by a multiplication, and finally parentheses. We must start with the parentheses first, because it has the highest priority than the other operation. So, instead of this expression, we can write 6 plus 30 divided by 6 multiplied by 5. And the next step, we need to handle the division and multiplication, because multiplication and division have a higher priority than addition. However, it's very important to note that in the PEMDAS rule, multiplication and division have the same level of priority. In this case, the best thing to do is to start from the rest of the expression and move toward the right, performing division and multiplication in order. So, first we perform the division between 30 and 6, which simplifies this expression to 6 plus 5, multiplied by 5. And the final step, it's time for the multiplication between 5 and 5, because multiplication has priority over addition. So, instead of this expression, we can write 6 plus 25, which ultimately gives us the answer 31. Therefore, option D is the correct answer to this question.